Hey everybody, this is Pastor Megan Rohrer, pastor of Grace Lutheran in San Francisco. And today we are having a service blessing those who mourn. I know I'm not live, sorry. I am in continuing education this week, and Pastor Amanda is grieving the loss of a beloved pet. But today, I hope you will enjoy this worship service. My kids are going to be joining me, and we're going to be talking about, inspired by Pastor Amanda, how you can care for yourself if you have lost a beloved pet. Today, the numbers of our coronavirus deaths, which we read each week at our service for those who are grieving, these numbers are from September the 3rd, though if you're watching it on Friday, it is September 4th. There have been 190,000 coronavirus deaths in the United States and 860,000 coronavirus deaths worldwide. This service that you are watching is a part of a cycle that comes out of the Lenten tradition when we talk about the death of Jesus on a Friday and celebrate Jesus's resurrection on a Sunday. And so we have done this rhythm all through shelter in place, caring for those who are grieving on Fridays and then having a worshipful service on Sundays. We carry grief in lots of different ways. There is grief from those who have died, grief from the ways that our lives have changed, grief from the ways that justice is not as palpable as we would like it to be, grief from all of the chaos and the ways that things feel like they're just out of order, grief from natural disasters, and all of the emergencies, large and small, that have come to us. We also grieve, some of us, the ways that our mental health has changed. And it might feel a little unsettling to be in times like these. You, dear beloved one, are not alone, and this service is for you. We gather here in your presence, God, in our need and bringing with us the needs of the world. We come to you, for you came to us in Jesus, and you know by experience what human life is like. We come with our faith and with our doubts. We come with our hopes and with our fears. We come as we are, because you invite us to come, and you have promised never to turn us away. Take a few breaths, be fully present in the space where you are. Wiggle your toes, embrace and love this body that you are in, and enjoy this conversation about what happens when our pets die and some of the ways that we can grieve that I shared with my children, Makayla and Dominique. Can we talk about what happens when pets die?
Yeah. So, actually, in our life, in our family, 2 of our cats died.
Yeah.
One name is Calvin and one name is Kitty. 2.
And what did you do when they died to take care of yourself?
I cried for Calvin. I forgot what I did for Kitty.
What was it like?
Why one of the cats died is because Calvin died is because he had pain and they had to give him a shot so he died peacefully and slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And
we held him and we petted him. You want to show people how we held him? We held him and we petted him while he took his last breaths.
And after he died, I was crying a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And after Kitty and Calvin died, I got you guys pictures of the cats so that you could look at them. Did that help?
Yeah. Except, I don't know where, oh yeah, I have one of them. I only have one picture of Calvin.
Yeah. And we got this stuffed animal. Do you want to show it to people? It's a cat that is wearing a headdress for Dios de los Muertes, for the Day of the Dead. And so we remember the pets that we love by looking at this stuffed animal. And when we miss the cat, you can hold it, right? You can hold it And remember, and it's not the same, but it makes us feel a little bit better that when we're thinking about it, we have a way to think about it. Can you think of anything else that we did? Not.
We went to the doctor with Calvi, and we were sitting in a small room. He was like on like a little table, and we petted him, and he went in the cage, and then we got 2 new cats.
Yeah, after a little while, when we were feeling ready, we got some new pets that we could love, and it didn't make us love Calvi or Kitty any less, but it gave us new cats that we could love.
And their names are, the sassiest one is Tootsie, and the less sassiest one is McGee. She's cuddly.
Yeah.
Tootsie likes to be alone. But sometimes she scratches you.
Because she likes to be alone. Yeah. When you think about the cats who have died, do you ever think about the good times you had with them? When you had good memories with them?
No.
Times that you petted them? Because
Yeah.
some people, that makes them feel better, is to think about the good times. You
I don't-
sometimes do? That's great. Tell me about it, Makayla.
So I think of when I pet Calvi, and a lot of times when we went to the doctor, because I remember that only because that was the last time I saw him.
Sometimes we only remember the last time, and the last time was very sad, but we might have had a lot of times that were happy.
I only remember the last time I saw him.
Yeah.
I only remember when I pet him and went to the doctor.
Maybe we could work on trying to remember together some of the happy times. I remember one of my favorite memories of Calvin is that we would pet and pet and pet and pet Calvin, and he would drool all down his face and leave a wet spot on the bed because he is so happy that you were petting him. You remember that? Did Calvin ever drool on you?
Yeah.
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 Maybe you do remember some happy times.
What about Kitty? Let's talk about Kitty.
Kitty is basically like Kitty's basically like Toots, and Calvi's like McGee.
Okay, she was a little sassier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys called her Scratchy Kitty.
And McGee is chubby like
Calvin was?
yeah, and they're both cuddly. They're
Yeah.
both more cuddlier than Scratchy Kitty and Toots.
So, we think our cats we have right now are girls, and Kitty is a girl, and Calvi is a boy.
Yeah, so it helps to remember our pets, doesn't it? Yeah. Do you ever draw pictures of them to remember?
I once did.
Some people draw pictures of their pets. Some people have paintings of
I
their
really
pets.
want to paint one.
You should do it. That would be pretty. And we could
When?
hang it up.
When?
Well,
Whenever we had time.
we'll see. Yeah, we do some painting. Some people, if they get their pet cremated, like to keep their pet on a shelf in a pretty vase and remember them and have them nearby. Some people like to scatter the ashes of their pets, and some people like the vet to take care of it because they live in a busy, busy city. And so that's part of some people's grief rituals.
If it wasn't, if the cats weren't so creepy when they only had the bones, I would ask like a scientist to put the bones together and then hang it on, like put it on my wall.
Yeah, well that's, so one of the reasons that we don't normally put the bones of someone we love on our wall is because we want them to rest in peace. Sometimes when you hear that someone has died, adults will say to you, rest in peace. And that means that when we die, we want to be in pain no more. And we don't want our body in a picture frame somewhere. We want to be somewhere where we're resting. We don't want people to do something strange with our
Or
body,
like
right?
put it on my shelf, like with the bones together.
Yeah, so the reason that when people do cremation and they put it in a fancy jar, they don't ever open it or touch the ashes, really. They just know that it's there and it makes them feel better. But
Maybe-
you can talk to pets that have died. You can talk to anyone who has died. You can pick a star where you think they are and talk to that star. You can talk to a picture of them.
I every night when I see a star, I named a star named Calvin and one star named Scratchy Cat, and I talk to it every night.
Every night. That's nice. Yeah. What do you say to it? Pretend you're
say
looking
nice
up at the
things.
star and say something nice to Kelby.
I say, I love you and I miss you.
Oh, that's very nice. What do you say to Scratchy Kitty?
The same thing.
I love you.
But
and I
every
miss you.
night I don't say the same thing.
Oh, okay.
But every night I say the same thing to each other.
Yeah. You can also, if you say prayers, you can add them in your prayers and remember them.
Oh,
I
yeah,
say
maybe I
prayers.
can have a pray book.
Yeah, you could have a prayer book of stuff you want to remember to pray for.
Yeah.
I have like a whole notebook that I've only written in like 201s,
Okay.
so I could use that.
You could use that book for your prayers. That would be nice, yeah. There's a day every year. It's called All Saints Day, and it's kind of like Dios de los Muertes. And on All Saints Day, we put up pictures of people who have died, and we remember them and we celebrate them in church. You remember the time when we brought the cat's pictures and we put them on the altar at the church and we hung them up, and other people brought pictures of people who had died and we hung them up?
No, but
Yeah.
I remember when I was in kindergarten, Mama had photos of Calvi.
Oh yeah, and you brought them to
Yeah.
you brought them to church. Yeah. All Saints Day is right after Halloween. And so is Dios de los Muertes is right around that same time. And so that's when people together celebrate all the people that they love who they have cared
Is
about.
it why it's after Halloween? Because usually on Halloween there's like a lot of spooky, scary stuff like skeletons and things like that.
Halloween has a very long history that we can talk about later. But I think that the reason it is around that time is because it was part of festivals that people celebrated all throughout the year. And November is a time when they cut down the crops from the field. It's called harvesting. And that time of harvesting, that same time of year is when the leaves start to turn brown and fall off the trees. And it looks like the trees are dying, but really they're just getting ready for winter. And then in the spring, they're going to turn back into flowers again. But because all of nature looks like it's going through a process where things are dying and they'll later come back to life, I think that's why in that time of year, people like to remember all the things that have died and to remember them in really nice ways. What do you think? You think that's why?
Yeah. Except for poor leaves,
Poor leaves.
they get stepped on
Mm-hmm.
and blown in the wind into the air.
And every night I also give the stars communion.
You do? That's really great. So, thank you for sharing a little bit about pets and who have died, because that's a hard thing to talk about usually.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say to people who had pets who died lately, and ways that you want to care for them? Because Pastor Amanda from Oregon, her doggy died last week.
How?
He was in pain.
Like
Same,
Calvi?
just like Kelby, yeah. And so she's taking some time this week to grieve. And so should we do a prayer together? And we can pray to God, pray in thanksgiving for all the pets who love us, and then pray maybe for all of the people who are sad because they've lost pets. Should we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to go first.
Okay, you go first.
I pray for everyone and every animal and everything that died. Amen.
God, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Yeah. Do you have one you want to do, Dominique?
Not right now, but you can go.
Okay, I'll go. I pray for everyone who loves their pets mightily, that they have time to pet them, maybe not as often as they want to be pet, that they have time to go on walks with them, that they can look at them in their fish tanks, that they can give them enough heat if they're reptilian, that no matter the type of pets people have, that they love them so much while they're alive. Bless all the pets and all those who love their pets.
God in your mercy.
God in your mercy, hear our prayer.
Our prayer.
Dominique, do you have a prayer for all of the creatures of the world? Would you pray for all the animals that live and don't live indoors, they live outdoors?
Hey.
Yeah, pray for them and
That's what I was gonna
name some of the best animals that you really like. Dominique knows all the good animals.
I pray for deer wolves and all of the creatures that live in the woods that are dying from the wildfires.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Amen.
Hear our prayer.
I also pray for everything that is bad to end.
Yeah.
More than 1 second. I mean, less than 1 second.
I pray for everyone who's sick to feel better or to feel as good as they possibly can. I pray for doctors and nurses to stay safe. And I pray for all who are doing research to find cures for diseases safely but quickly. God in your mercy.
Hear our prayer. This is probably the best prayer you ever heard. I pray for you.
Yeah, I pray for you too. I pray that you have love and hope and health and peace and everything that your heart desires. I pray that you have people to hug.
I have a prayer. Ugh.
I pray that you have enough food, and I pray
And
that you
enough
are
love.
well. I pray you have more love than you need. Way more than enough, so you have to give it away.
No, actually, way more than I love you.
Okay. God in your mercy.
Hear our prayer. I pray for the shot that the scientists are trying to make so diseases would go away will at least be finished by the end of this year.
Yeah, for the coronavirus.
And
God in your mercy.
maybe the coronavirus is going to end like tomorrow, but maybe
Maybe.
in 2 weeks I am going to go to school.
Well, I pray that
In person.
I pray that everyone who's in school and all of their teachers and all of their janitors and all of the people who help make school safe, stay safe and healthy, and learn the best they can and make good choices for each other. God in your mercy.
Hear our prayer. I pray for people that are sad from your family or other people that are your friends from dying.
Yeah, I
God
pray
in
that
your mercy.
all who are grieving get comfort from God.
God in your mercy.
Hear our prayer. May God lift up all of our prayers and hold them in God's loving arms. May all who have prayers that they can't even imagine to share publicly get love from God and feel love from us and love each other the best they can. Amen.
Amen.
And we end this blessing today the way we do each week, which is to read the Beatitudes, the blessing for those who mourn that Jesus proclaimed to the mass of people who were having a tough, tough time. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in this same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. Live forgiven, claim your wholeness, and go in peace.